Here's what Donald Trump said about Joint Chiefs Chairman Mark Milley, suggesting that General would have been put to death for communications with China. The communications Trump seems to be referencing to are reports that Milley called his Chinese counterpart after Trump lost the 2020 election to say he would warn China should Trump decide to launch a military attack.
So that is MSNBC reporting on Donald Trump's latest deranged personal attack. Mark Milley is the outgoing chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He was appointed by Donald Trump. Milley was recently featured in an in-depth profile in The Atlantic where the general described Mr. Trump's disturbing alleged lack of respect for the armed forces. Milley recounts an instance in 2019 when Trump reportedly told him that a wounded soldier should be banned from Trump White House appearances.
At the ceremony, wounded Army Captain Luis Avila, who suffered multiple injuries, including losing a leg in an IED attack in Afghanistan and 2 heart attacks, sang "God Bless America." Milley said Trump asked him afterwards why he brought, quote, people like that to the White House.
Well, and that is in line with obviously what we also heard from other generals who work with Donald Trump. It is sick. It's also
he's a sick man.
It's also sick, of course, that he said that people who died in wars were losers.
Speaking of losers, by Donald Trump's own definition, the former president is a loser and a failure. In 2016, Trump said he would surround himself with only the best and most serious people. Trump recently called his former Attorney General Bill Barr a gutless pig. He called his former White House Chief of Staff John Kelly weak and ineffective. Trump called former Chief of Staff Nick Mulvaney a born loser. Trump called his first Secretary of State Rex Tillerson dumb as a rock. Trump called his first Defense Secretary James Mattis the world's most overrated general. Trump called his White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany milquetoast. Trump's Vice President Mike Pence is running against him, as is Trump's UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. Former Trump Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is not supporting Trump. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton is not supporting Trump and calls him deranged. Trump's second Defense Secretary Mark Esper is not supporting Trump and calls him irresponsible. So the criticism of Trump by outgoing Joint Chiefs Chairman Milley and Trump's name-calling in response is not unusual. However, Trump's barrage against Milley, including the suggestion that Milley should be executed, could land Donald Trump in jail. And here's why. Mark Milley is an expected witness in the Trump D.C. trial related to January 6, as well as the Trump Florida trial related to classified documents in Mar-a-Lago. Milley had firsthand knowledge of the Trump actions leading up to the January 6 insurrection, as well as direct involvement in the classified documents prepared for Trump that Trump took, allegedly unlawfully, to his Mar-a-Lago resort. Now, Trump's release conditions in the D.C. case state that Trump swears not to tamper with or intimidate witnesses. Quote, violating any of the foregone conditions of release may result in the immediate issuance of a warrant for your arrest, a revocation of your release, and order of detention. It is a crime punishable by up to 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine, or both to obstruct a criminal investigation, tamper with a witness, victim, or informant, retaliate or attempt to retaliate against a victim, witness, or informant, or intimidate, attempt to intimidate a witness, victim, juror, informant, or officer of the court. To be clear, a move to jail Donald Trump would first likely come from the special counsel Jack Smith. And so far, Smith and the court have given Trump wide latitude to offer pretrial criticism and statements. Still, suggesting a witness should be executed, as Donald Trump has now done with outgoing Joint Chiefs Chairman Milley, is a different order of magnitude. And at some point, Trump's deranged and lunatic statements are going to catch up with him. By the way, some of Donald Trump's most fervent supporters have been crumbling lately when confronted with facts.
Impeachments and the January 6th, I mean, all that was just...
What was January 6th? You're shaking your head about January 6th.
Well, the Democrats did it, Nancy Pelosi, and, Trump had nothing to do with that. It was all planned.
Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.